At the CC Forum blockchain conference in London, I'm talking to Robyn Friedman, and she's got a very interesting background, mathematician, game theory. She worked at the financial industry, trading desk, complex products. And you were really interested what Vinny Gupta was saying, at the role which blockchain can present. Why are you so interested from your background?
Well, I found it really interesting in the fact that he has a point that blockchain is just a tool, but it's a tool which, if you use it in a way that is, thoughtful and applied, it can really make a difference. And so,
So explain to me. I mean, you've been doing a lot of different things, but the last things where you were doing a trading desk, making complex products, and you already used that assets are virtual, are all over the world, and are basically a contract.
So when we used to design products, it would take about 6 months for banks and governments, and they would be these big legal contracts, and the devil was in the detail. And they were just virtual. It was an agreement between two parties who the lawyers had agreed that it fitted into the right regulation and accounting and jurisdiction. And once they were signed, you could have even put them in a drawer, or you could put them on a trading system, and then we could see the risk, which is again virtual. So
What kind of assets are we talking about?
Well, what I traded was they were hybrid, so a mixture of credit, rates, FX, so cross asset. And for me, also blockchain as a tool can also be used as almost like an SPV, another issuance,
SPV?
a special purpose vehicle, another issuance container of how you contract these, like whether you're doing something that's got an interest rate dynamic, a currency dynamic, or a credit like a debt dynamic. Now you can just write these rules into some sort of
Smart contract.
Yeah, exactly. And so for me, it's just tools getting to a same place, but in a way, in a trusted manner. And I think that's where Vinay really, he sees it. And I appreciate
He understands the complexity of the current society, and he sees the possibility of the new technology, and you can see that he has a talent to merge the two. What part of the current business would the blockchain replace? Because you're used to big contracts and lots of details and lots of text, which after everybody signs it, hardly ever is read, right?
Oh, no, you read it quite a bit afterwards. The devil is in the detail. But what I think it does is, once you start to design your smart contracts, you're forming a standardized contract and the different variations of what that means. And so even when we used to trade, we used to do bespoke contracts, but you could have if you took the time to standardize them and work out all the different clauses with lawyers of how this would work, you could create it. What would have taken us 6 months could be 1 month of a cookie cutter approach. And so what blockchain does is that over time will become smaller and smaller and smaller until that's an automated process, and that will start to clean up industries in ways we can't even imagine at this point.
So that's the part I'm really interested in. What is the part which we cannot imagine? What kind of part of the services will the things become more transparent? Will it be more efficient? Will it become more widely spread? What is the promise of the future?
I think it's a bit of everything, and that's what confuses people, is that in truth it's not a solution to any one of them in and of itself. But if you can find a way to, we're just talking in assets now. I mean, there's other variations of this, but for this thing of standardizing assets, how to cross the border between physical and virtual, so the custody and regulation and all of that, once it starts to become standard, it touches into all those little bits, and so it's a bit.
You see it vaguely in front of you, but there's a lot of details to go. Now, what's your background?
I am a mathematician. I'm a game theorist. I studied information system design when I was originally in my undergrad, and also then I've taken finance all the way up to PhD level. And straight out of uni, I even did a startup, it was before PayPal days, which was created a payment system for the guest house industry in South Africa. So I've kind of done a bit of
And then, and what was the hardcore, the thing you did for 5 years at the trading desk?
Oh, so I've been in trading, for over 10 years in the trading desk, and I was running structured product trading desk, which was just bespoke cross-asset credit, rates, FX, products for banks and governments, structured products.
Yeah. What are you doing now?
I'm working for now I'm in more of an esoteric field. I'm working for a company that creates virtual reality and augmented reality technology, and I'm starting up a new venture which is called Core Live, and we pretty much are designing a data infrastructure for the three-dimensional web. So yeah, I can't say much more at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to basically create a new world in 3D, and you're going to make the rules, and you're going to use the blockchain also as part of the governance structure.
It's a tool for consensus and for a registry. Yeah, that's.
And how the hell? I mean, you're here in the city, having a perfectly comfortable life, being rewarded nice amount of money and bonuses. Why would you do this? Why would you make the change?
Oh, I had to jump out of. I had a big life moment of where I was like, I need more. So I actually quit trading and went traveling for a year and wondered about where I could make a difference in this world using my skill set, and that's kind of.
The why moment hit you.
Yeah, big why moment, and yeah, let's see how it turns out.
Okay, now that you look back on that beautiful financial city life, which you know from the inside very well.
Yeah.
Is it something we as humanity should be very worried about, or is it actually pretty nice people which are doing a reasonable job and they have to be regulated the right way? How do you look back on the city?
I think it's a combination. I mean, I had wonderful colleagues, and they were all good people and family people, and not the stereotypes that you would imagine. I think the industry as a whole is, in decline, and it needs to work out how to move forward, but then so is society. So I don't know if
it was not a red hole of horrible people with horrible morals.
Den of inequity, not at all.
And is it fulfilling a useful role in society at this moment? Is it something we really need?
Oh, I could get into an essay on this, so I'm not sure I'm going to even go down that.
So that's why I'm asking you. Simple. Is it a yes or a no or a maybe or both or complex?
Partially. Yeah. It does play a role, a very big role, but the system needs to be rewritten.
Okay, so this is Robyn Friedman. She is here to basically pick up knowledge, but she has a lot of knowledge on the old industry, has some vague idea where she wants to go in the new one, creates her new world in virtual reality. We're going to take a look at that, but this is the kind of people who walk around here in London City at the Blockchain CC Forum Conference.